The biblical narrative of King Ahab and Naboth's vineyard highlights themes of power, greed, injustice, and the moral corruption that can result from unchecked desires. Journey with me as we explore the motivations behind King Ahab's desire for Naboth's vineyard, Naboth's refusal, the role of Jezebel in the coercive strategies employed to acquire the vineyard, and the broader implications of these events. Additionally, we will delve into contemporary parallels regarding the misuse of influence within personal relationships. Throughout this examination, references to scriptural texts will serve to underscore the moral lessons inherent in the story. King Ahab, as depicted in the Hebrew Bible, was the seventh king of Israel and is often characterized by his ambitious and at times tyrannical nature. His desire for Naboth's vineyard was not merely about acquiring property. It represented a deeper yearning for control and the fulfillment of personal desires. The vineyard's proximity to the royal palace made it an attractive acquisition for Ahab, who envisioned transforming it into a vegetable garden. This desire reflects not only a notion of convenience but also an assertion of power over land and resources, a common theme in the history of monarchs who intended to extend their dominion beyond political boundaries to encompass material wealth. Naboth's vehement refusal to sell the vineyard underscores the significance of ancestral inheritance within the Israelite culture. The land was not just property, it was a symbol of heritage, identity, and familial continuity. According to the law, Naboth's inheritance was protected by divine ordinance, which forbade the permanent sale of land outside the family lineage. This cultural understanding laid a foundation for Naboth's steadfast position. His loyalty to the traditions encompassing land ownership and inheritance presents an early example of the conflict between individual rights and royal power. In this narrative, Jezebel, Ahab's wife, plays a critical role as the instigator of Ahab's desire for Naboth's vineyard. Jezebel's character has become synonymous with manipulation and immorality, as she displays a willingness to employ deceit and intimidation to achieve her goals. Influencing the elders and nobles of Jezreel to falsely accuse Naboth of blasphemy, she orchestrates a scheme that ultimately leads to Naboth's execution. This act not only exemplifies the lengths to which individuals will go to satisfy their desires but also serves to illustrate the dynamics of power in relationships. Jezebel's actions reflect the darker sides of ambition and the corrupting influence of power, prompting the question of accountability for the injustices committed under the guise of royal authority. This biblical account resonates with contemporary dynamics seen in modern relationships, where unprincipled behaviors can be perpetuated by one partner's influence over the other. Weak individuals, often swayed by their partners, may pursue claims that are fundamentally unfair or unethical. The spirit of envy and lust that drives one to covet another's possessions or rights remains prevalent today. Much like Ahab, those seeking to acquire something they do not rightfully possess may resort to manipulation or deceit, unleashing harmful consequences for the victims of such actions. The biblical texts draw parallels between the lust for power and wealth, suggesting that these desires lead to moral decay. The scripture presents questions regarding the origins of conflict, as seen in James 4:1-10. In this passage, the writer addresses the internal struggles that lead to external discord. The challenges faced by Ahab and Naboth exemplify how unchecked desires manifest in violence and deception. The narrative provides an almost timeless commentary on the destructive impact of greed and the willingness of individuals to forsake their principles in pursuit of satisfaction. These principles find expression in major theological discussions concerning the nature of sin and redemption. The teachings encapsulate a call to humility and a rejection of self-centeredness. From the perspective of Christian ethics, the text urges individuals to seek righteousness instead of being consumed by personal desires. This message resonates through centuries, affirming the belief that true fulfillment stems from a relationship with God, not from earthly possessions. Moreover, an examination of societal changes indicates that the influence of personalities, akin to Jezebel, persists today. Women and men may leverage their positions within relationships to influence decision-making processes, often resulting in significant ramifications. In extreme instances, unjust actions may unfold, prompted by manipulative desires that parallel Jezebel's cunning strategies. This dynamic of influence can lead to societal complications, particularly in instances of domestic abuse, as distrust and malice surface under the guise of love. Reflecting on these dynamics reveals the complexity of human relationships, particularly regarding power structures. The manipulation of one partner over another highlights a trend where emotions become weapons in personal vendettas. As contemporary society grapples with these underlying currents, it becomes crucial to address the moral failures illustrated in the Ahab-Naboth narrative while emphasizing the importance of integrity and justice. The echoes of this story serve as a reminder of the need for vigilance against the perils of unchecked ambition and the sometimes destructive influence of those we place in positions of trust. In assessing the repercussions of the Ahab and Naboth story, it is vital to consider how these themes continue to resonate with contemporary audiences. The lessons about justice, influence, and morality hold relevance for modern-day believers and non-believers alike. They encourage a critical examination of ethical boundaries within personal relationships and broader social structures. As society strides into an increasingly complex future, the challenges presented by the Ahab-Naboth narrative remain salient, offering insights into human motivations, ethical conduct, and the dire consequences of yielding to lascivious urges. In conclusion, the story of King Ahab's desire for Naboth's vineyard serves as a profound reflection of greed, power, and moral degradation. Naboth's adherence to his inheritance contrasts starkly with Ahab's corruption and Jezebel's manipulative influence. This timeless narrative highlights the same struggles that pervade society today and raises important questions about the nature of desire and its consequences. By examining the implications of this biblical tale, individuals can gain valuable insights into the nature of power, justice, and the inherent motivations that drive human behavior, ultimately fostering a pursuit of higher values for future generations. 10 down WJ, where creativity meets impact. 10 down WJ, E, N, T,